Alrighty. Well, I am very excited about our next guest because we have the Calabogie Wake Surf Championships happening this weekend. And here to talk a bit about it is Steve Cram, who's the director. We also have one of the professionals in the sport, Chris Howe. Thanks so much for joining us here this morning. Now, Steve, I got to go out with you and I got to learn a bit more about the sport itself. Pretty fantastic sport.
It is an awesome sport. You know, it's a sport that becomes very, very addictive because, as you are aware, you ultimately are surfing without a rope.
That's right.
And unlike any other water sport like water skiing or wakeboarding, you get up, you get to a point in the wake where you throw the rope in, and now you're free riding.
That's
and
right.
that rush of free riding is what hooks people in right away. And the fact of the matter is that they can keep progressing and they can do it without the fear of getting hurt.
And that's the nice thing, and that's the one thing that I really enjoyed. I was a little nervous because I had never really been. You know, once you get up and you have that rope, you let it go. So when you fall, you're really just going into the water yourself.
That's right.
And is that one of the beauties about the sport, especially being a professional in it?
Yeah, it's low impact, so you can keep trying tricks and you don't feel like your body's so sore the next day.
Right. And so, Chris, how did you get involved in wake surfing?
You know, my dad was a windsurfer and I grew up around a cottage, so I was wakeboarding behind the boat all the time. And then one year I was trying flips, ended up hurting my leg, and the doctor said, you know, the only thing you can do is wake surfing. Got into that, got a couple tricks under my belt, and I was hooked.
Now, you're competing this week. Talk a little bit about the event you're competing in.
So, you know, we're up here in Calabogie. It's the part of the World Series event. I'm super excited to, you know, it's a qualifier for, you know, Worlds down in Arizona coming up, and it gives us the chance to ride with the pros and the guys that I have pictures of on my wall and stuff like that, so it's awesome.
And Steve, quite a few pros we'll see this weekend?
Definitely. The top world pros are actually up at Calabogie. There are a few there now, and there's others that are coming because what they want to do is they really want to promote the sport. They want to promote the World Series. There's also cash prize involved, so we made sure that that Calabogie was one of the top cash prizes on the World Series tour, so we can attract the pros, so that people who are just getting into the sport or who have actually gotten into the sport for a few years, they get an experience, and that's what it's all about.
So how did Calabogie get involved? Because it's a pretty big championships for you guys to be hosting at, you know, the resort.
It is, and it just became a happenstance that I met the director of the World Championships online. I ended up buying a surfboard from him, ended up buying his boat from him, and then we became good friends. And then I asked, hey, what would it take to bring up World Series to the Calabogie area? And he said, well, put in an application, but we want one around there because Toronto area and Montreal area are key hotbeds for growth in wake surfing, and so is Ottawa and Calabogie. So it made perfect sense to have it here.
So do you think the sport will grow because of this championship happening this weekend here in Ottawa?
I think there's going to be a lot of interest. A lot of people still asking the question, so what is wake surfing? And a lot of people still calling it wakeboarding. So a lot of people still think, well, okay, yeah, it's wakeboarding championships. I keep hearing that. It's like, no. When you see it, you're going to say, oh, where's the rope? And people are saying, that's neat, or I've seen that before, or now I want to try it. So it'll spark the interest in the general public and a demographic that's going to range from 7 to 70.
Well, so Chris, what will you be trying this weekend? When can we find you in the water?
Yeah, so I'll be competing on Thursday and Friday, and hopefully again on Saturday. And I'll also be performing some music as well in the evening. And yeah, just lots of time on the water, teaching some clinics and getting the chance to compete. It'll be awesome.
So wake surfer by day, musician by night, is that where we can find you? And of course, there's still clinics open for people who want to, you know, give it a try.
That's right. If they go to the website, they can find, the contact information. Go to the Contact Us page. We have a couple of spots open for tomorrow because we actually have 4 of the world pros teaching tomorrow, including Chris. We've got top Canadians, Carolyn Villeneuve and Dominic Lagacé, and we have the 2012 world champion Keenan Flegel flying in today that we're going to bring up to Calabogie, and he's teaching tomorrow. So it's going to be a great time, and this is all pre-event.
Great. So if you guys want to go, you can go check it out. Head to their website for all their information, and I highly, highly, highly recommend those people who like water sports to give it a try because I can say it's a lot of fun. So thanks so much, gentlemen, for joining us here today.